Yeah, I think I've done about 3 videos today. This will be the fourth, on a bit of a roll, which is possibly why every now and again you see a whole load of ambulances going past to try and establish maybe some sense of urgency, some sense of tempo that is, which ain't ideal, which ain't fitting for someone who's been at a hospital only 9 days. But look, I can deal with it. If other people can't, then that's I'm sure I'll be detained off the back of that sort of thing. It wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, I'm going to in this video type a few things and go into a lexicon from my earlier years. Use a lexicon from a different period. Yeah, one of the things I wanted to say, it was that laugh that sometimes causes a cheesy laugh. I sort of hit on that. I think it was in the 2010s or the 2000s, midway in the 2000s, on the what functions it serves. And it did see me. It was, it's a good approach to adopt. That the suggestions have been the suggestions have been suggesting that it's anything but what it is. It's sort of like, if you look back to when they first detained me at the local psychiatric unit, where they got the idea from the architects and their people, that it was a country bumpkin or something. And then it turned out it wasn't. And like I was mentioned before, both subject positions were seen as a massive problem. So it's pretty much, that's a similar thing, sort of thing. That's just the way it is. But yeah, it's like there's so many examples of that. It's pretty. It can be pretty breathtaking at times. There have been drug-ins since I re-established that. Yeah, this feels like. Even if I mentioned, even as I mentioned that there was some sense that these drug-ins are coming back yet again. But yeah, it's, ambulances going past, many ambulances going past to try and that seems to suggest to other people maybe that there's a sense of urgency or whatever, or an urgent need for me to of whatever, coercive measures or psychiatric chemicals administered. To me, I'm just, even with the druggings, I haven't been doing too bad today. And like I said, it was the morning that pretty much set that up for me. And other things have happened throughout the day, which have pretty much done that. And like I said, when they produce these ambulances, I sort of see it for what it is, trying to engineer trying to frame and characterize a certain set of suggestions, atmospheres, and so on and so forth. I'm not buying it anymore. Even though at one time I would have done. To me, it's just it happens. They do come round with these ambulances trying to suggest all that sort of stuff, which does seem to put them in states that sort of want if nothing else, I'm bored of. I mean, it's like saying the other day, I'm not sure I'll have anything to do with anyone. Because you just do get bored of so much of the shenanigans and the druggings and that. Every time you meet someone, it's like there's a whole load of druggings and shenanigans involved in it. And the good thing about that is it is important for the subject of those types of approaches to get bored of those types of approaches. Again, an adaptive strategy that does work. Because then you don't get, apart from with druggings, you don't get all involved and het up about the stuff that's pulled off the back of all that type of stuff. Yeah, so yeah. Thinking back, right, to when I was a kid. And we used to get the K's catalogue. K's had a factory in Worcester. And did not used to look forward to that. I mean, it's sort of overemphasising certain things to even say this. But it's quite funny. I used to love those catalogue chicks. When the lingerie catalogue chicks. That was something else. I loved those catalogues when they used to drop. And I used to wait until my mum had finished. I didn't even wait until she'd finished looking at them. They were straight up to my bedroom. Even at that age, adolescence, when your hormones are all over the place, the yeah. No one tells you. No one tells you. Adolescence, your 20s, 30s. Eventually, your sex drive just tails off. That you're not that impressed as what you once were with such stuff. But interesting, they even made a film of the back of that sort of stuff. It's like, but also, I pointed out. I've got no issue with pointing out certain things. How a relative of mine after they said, "Did you feed it?" They went round. They'd gone round asking people this, that, and everything about, and I mentioned someone who I was related to, pointed out certain things that are just bigger belief to me. But anyway, that's no problem. But anyway, someone he was related to. That I was related to through marriage. I remember before '96, him having this really puritanical, prudish approach to someone. He said, "He's a pervert, he's into catalogue chicks." I just thought, you what's wrong with you? It's like, to me it seems like back then in those days, that if you hit adolescence, and you weren't into catalogue chicks, then there was a problem with you. But anyway, I thought that was quite funny. But yeah, the sight of a bit of, I don't bloody know, even the sight of a bit of nipple, unbelievable. They were really nice, the catalogue chicks. But yeah, did not love them catalogues. There were other ones as well. It wasn't just Case, was it? But Case had a massive operation down in Worcester. But yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I do play up to some of that sometimes these days. The iron up chicks, I wouldn't really bother looking at. Sometimes, but there are some attractive chicks. Anyway, there's me lapsing into a former lexicon to cover the issue of catalogue chicks. I can't believe they made a film that. Wait a minute. I don't think it's so much Hollywood film, but this. Interestingly, the character in. I hadn't thought of this. The character in that film, Boyhood, was actually very the way he would was characterised, towards the end especially, I think, it's very like this cousin of mine, this relative of mine, who was really prudish and puritanical, made catalogue jigs. That's something I hadn't actually thought of. That's really interesting. It is actually, but anyway, who gives a shit now anyway. But yeah, I mean, I suppose it's different these days. But with the availability of the internet and all that sort of thing, that was sort of a golden age, I think, maybe. The age of catalogue chicks, I don't bloody know. But yeah, another thing that's taken place. They're sort of setting themselves up to do their own editing. They tried to pop me off one of my favourite. Maybe I shouldn't be talking about this at a time like this, when well, any time with the talk shenanigans and druggings that are going on. But they've tried, have they, to put me off one of my favourite performers in sexual material. About as good looking a chick as I think you can find in most instances in that genre or form of media or however you want to characterise it. Really good looking chick. Not built, you kind of from it by. But anyway, yeah, but yeah, that catalogue thing, and to think that the characterization of the guy was so reminiscent of the guy who was puritanical and prudish. I mean, the passion in the way he says a prude. There's me. I don't bloody know. They were great times when the catalogue dropped. It was like winning the polls to me. Yeah, yeah. I thought I'd think that. But yeah, building on the last video that I said, becoming reacquainted with myself and the area, despite the fact it's sort of, again, I'm sort of feeling my way back into the area, and having to put, the sound effects, the runarounds, the shenanigans, and the druggings, and so on and so forth, in some sort of perspective, some sort of context that works. And it's sort of one of the videos. I think it was the first video I did when I got to the psychiatric unit the last time, where I said they were going to try and turn me into Michael Jackson. Well, that hasn't transpired. Luckily, I'm returning back to more of a semblance of who I really am. Instead of all that, I don't believe it. But yeah, and judging from the Bear's saying, judging from the situation, the coffee shop. Mind you, like I said earlier, the chick down the coffee shop did chill out a bit. I think I picked up on that. I don't know if I wasn't really paying that much attention. But judging from the state of the supermarket, you know, like I said, people busting into town and so on and so forth, public fucking and all that business. It's like, I ain't interested, but I do have to say things right now. But eventually, I do want to get to the stage where I'm not even making the remotest reference to the architects and all that stuff. That may take a while. When I'm drugged up, when the pace is attempts are made to adjust the pace, with how I do things, that I've sort of hit on, that are doing me so much good. Again, it bears repeating. After 9 days of being on a board for 10.5 weeks, to be doing this well, and even with that, to have sirens going past, to get them trying to set the scene, and you're thinking, well, hang on a sec, I've done so well after 10.5 weeks. What is your game, sort of thing. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. It just it's something to not take too seriously. For me, other people may be taking that seriously. I'm not going to. If they set the scene, they may set the scene for themselves to come charging in and saying you need this, you need that, like they were really going for before the holiday. Um, you know, then they're going to do that, aren't they? If they do that in this context, then that's just the way it is, isn't it? It would be a pity. So I don't know though. Is it possible to put me on any more of these drugs? Is it possible to be more coercive than what's going on right now? I don't know, but if there is a way of doing it, I'm sure some of these people find it, judging from the sirens that have been coming past the flat today, at various times. After I did a number of videos that said, yeah, I really do sort of feel back at home. All of a sudden, it does feel good, And these videos are a good way of bringing that about. You know, whatever way they're characterising stuff. I mean, the stuff I heard, for example, from the barrister, if that's what they're called, down the coffee shop, the coffee maker. I just sort of suggest, well, if you're going to come out with that stuff, you lot really need to deal with that yourselves. If you're in that, getting to that state, then the onus shouldn't be on me to tell you how to think. You should go somewhere and learn how to think. But anyway, I think it's I'm guessing it's the nature of the institution. And when I talk about critical theory and Gramsci and Foucault and Goffman and all that, I don't know that much about them, but I know enough, I think. The Frankfurt School and so on. I know enough to get me by. I'd like to know more, but unfortunately, the books I'm trying to get into, badly written, almost certainly deliberately, I'd guess, to yet again try to set up big deal dramatic moments that I think I've shown. I think I'll always reject, because it's just not the way to live. One time I was persuaded into that type of stuff, that was the right way, but it's just not. I thought that ruffles a few feathers. Then that's the way it is. Unfortunately, the type of feathers it seems to be ruffling are the type of people who can really cart me off almost at will. But yeah, attempts to turn me into Michael Jackson thus far, I've failed. I'm getting more and more, into the type of vibe of after 25 years of essentially being having living a life that just wasn't really mine to be lived, in so many ways. But not all. Like I said, I've said about the TV that I've about stuff to do with that. But I've had my laugh with the telly at times. But like it's the wiser move, if not permanently, to not go back to that medium because come on, the type of stuff that's done so much attention today. I'll turn on that bloody thing. I'll just be like, so yeah, I'll just do things at my own pace, in my own way. But I mean, I learned a few things. I learned last time I was on the ward. I learned a few things. This time I was on the ward, I learned a few things. Like I said, when I criticise people, um, maybe I don't know. This is the impression I get. No, I thought people were more savvy than this. The type of people who do assign meaning to the type of things I say. It seems, and what I do, and even to the point of where I look. Now I look at things, and it's just got most of the time it's got no meaning. I look at people going past, most of the time no meaning, and stuff like that does bear saying. But yeah, the type of people who are assigning meaning. I don't really want to make reference to the architects. I'm pretty bored of them by now. Even though by now it should be obvious that at times when I need to, I will mention those people. But yeah, so yeah, I don't bloody know. I shouldn't really say it, but is it any wonder that I turn to catalogue checks? uh, dare I say it, turn like kidding. I don't bloody know. But yeah, it's like mm, uh, yeah, golden era, wasn't it? If yeah, for me it was anyway. And apparently, according to my relative by marriage, it was for other people as well. But yeah, yeah. So people looking past. Um, I can take it or leave it. Most of the time, when I feel the need to, I will, like I said, I'm going to say certain things, do certain things. But yeah, hmm. Don't know what I'm eating tonight. Probably chicken vindaloo. Because I went to the coffee shop, because I went to the supermarket, because I've done 4 videos in one day. Yeah, I'm just going to have to have something that I can chuck in the microwave, quick and easy. That's a ready meal, isn't it? But yeah, I hope tomorrow's a bit like this. I've got no way. No, I've got no way of uh, pulling it off if the druggings are a particular way, the particular ways they can be. But yeah, I mean the Reddit. I've sort of given up on Reddit, like I gave up on the news. Like I said, total institution. It does sort of prove the point every time a media, a form of media is swallowed up by essentially the architects in many ways. So it's just like, for the time being, I'll take things at my own pace, thank you very much. And this is the thing. Were they really coming round? I mean, they may have been under pressure, the psychiatric officials. But they really coming round with their pace? With what I guess, judging from things I've seen and heard, a sense of urgency that I don't share. Maybe not. But yeah, maybe they're figuring out. Oh, we'll do this, and this, of whatever. Maybe that was what was tried today, fell flat as a pancake yet again. Because it was, if anything, it was just quite amusing. But again, they may try and work off the back of that to make it anything but. I just gotta wonder what is the point if like one of the architects to keep uh, on that sort of with that sort of agenda. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, 4 videos in one day. Thought I'd do a sit down one on this one. Been walking around the flat. It was quite enjoyable actually doing those other videos. But yeah. So yeah. Right. Anyway, I better get on and do my curry. Not even hungry. But you can rest assured, if catalogues were still being distributed, I'd be very hungry indeed.